One, my name is Lynnette Stevens, and I wanted to hop on real fast and show you guys how to make a super easy little Halloween sign. I'm hoping that this project, because it is so easy, will inspire you to be creative. After all, that is the purpose of my page, is to inspire you guys to get creative. So what I'm going to do first is kind of talk to you about some of the supplies that I'm going to be using, and then I'll also drop links to some of these down in the comments to help you guys out. The first thing, our sign is going to be made on this little wooden plank that I bought. Actually got this at Walmart. Hi to my friends Clarice and Cheryl, thank you. Shelly, you girls, thanks so much. Hi to my friend Jan. Anyway, you can pick this up at Walmart on one of the craft aisles. I think I either paid, I don't know, $3.97, $4.97. I picked it up several months ago, so I forgot. But $5 or less for this. And then we're going to be using also from Walmart. I picked up the letters. I'm probably doing this backwards for you guys. Anyway, it spells boo. So I picked that up at Walmart as well. And then just scrapbook paper. And scrapbook paper you can get at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any of those kind of places. I think the one I'm using today actually came in a book that I purchased last fall at Hobby Lobby. But anyway, this is the one that I chose to use today because I like the purple and the green and the orange. I think it's super cute. So this is what I'm going to be using. And then I'm not going to tell you guys how we're going to finish it off. We'll just talk about that when we get there. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, and did I tell you guys I did get boo? I got these letters at Walmart. Also, they're on the same aisle, kind of right by these little wood planks. So if you want to use, I honestly thought about doing eek, like E-E-K. I thought that would be super cute, but I decided to just go with boo. So you could pick whatever you want. You can keep an open mind as we're going through this. You guys can change your word up. Maybe you just want the word fall on your board. Then you could pick out the letters that spell fall. So use your imagination. You can make this any way you want. I'm just choosing boo for today because of what I found to kind of finish off our sign. I thought boo would be super cute with it. So that's what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to share with you guys a tip. We're going to be using Mod Podge today to apply our scrapbook paper to our word boo. And I know a lot of you, because I hear it from you often in my little DIY classes that I teach, and I hear it from one of my daughter-in-laws a lot, that she doesn't like working with Mod Podge. And I can tell you guys, probably the #1 reason you don't like working with it is that you don't put enough on when you're applying it. So when we get to that part, I'm hoping I remember to talk about that and tell you guys kind of how much you want to use. And then I think you'll change your mind if you've been intimidated about Mod Podge. That's probably the scariest thing about today's project, is that for some of you. And then I know there's others of you that are a pro at it. So, but I'm going to teach you guys another tip when it comes to tracing out your letters onto your paper so that you don't end up with pencil lines on the printed side of your scrapbook paper. What I do is just turn your paper upside down and then make sure for your letters that you also lay them facing down so that when you trace, I'm going to show you guys. If I lay this down, see what happens? It's going to make sure that I cut out my B where the printed side of my scrapbook paper ends up on the top side of my B, so it's not backwards. So I'm just going to lay that down, and then I am going to trace my letter B. I'll get that traced out. And you guys just remember, you can choose any words you want. I'm just doing this to give you guys just a general idea, okay? And had I been smart, I should have probably traced a couple of these and already had them cut out, but I didn't think about that ahead of time. So you guys are just going to have to sit with me while I trace and cut. If you caught my live last Thursday, I think it was, I cheated on that one. I showed you how to make pumpkins out of empty vegetable cans, and I cheated and put the first coat on so it would be dry before I went live, as to not waste your precious time. But of course, I didn't think about that today. So I'll start trying to remember on these type projects and get that step done ahead of time, okay? Now guys, I chose to use the exact same paper for all 3 of my letters. If you want to mix it up, make all 3 of your letters a different scrapbook paper. I think it would be really cute, and to be honest with you, I thought about doing that, but I just love this little purple so much with the little candy on it that I decided to just go ahead and keep it simple and do them all the same. But use your imagination, mix it up. And here's the deal, I'm gonna give you another tip. I have learned this, School of Hard Knocks. So you can, and guys, to cut out on the side of the B, I'm just gonna make myself with my pencil, I'm just poking holes, okay? So I can do my little cutouts inside of here. Let's see, where was I going with that? Oh, I shouldn't have started talking about something else because now it made me forget. Guys, what was I getting ready to say? Hi to my sweet friends. I appreciate you guys, Rachel and Mallory, my sweet gals in my life that I love so much, and my sweet friend Kay Donna. I'm so thankful for you girls joining me. Do you guys remember what I was going to say? I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh well, I don't know what I was getting ready to say. I probably need to not try to talk about 2 or 3 things at the same time so I don't lose my train of thought. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. So when you're cutting out your letters from your scrapbook paper, another little tip, I cut just inside my pencil line, and the reason I do that is because when you get ready to apply it to your letters, it just goes on a little bit better, and you don't have pieces of your scrapbook paper hanging over the edge of your letter. So cut just inside your pencil line, and you won't have all that excess paper kind of hanging over. And when I say excess, it's not a lot, obviously, but it is enough. Let me use that pencil again. That works pretty good. It's enough sometimes to make your project look a little rushed, maybe is a good word. So I just cut right inside of it, and then you don't have that excess hanging over, and it just works really good. So let's get our O cut out here. I probably should have grabbed a little pair of smaller scissors. These are kind of big to be cutting out that inside part, but you know what? We're going to make it work. So I'm going to look real fast. Tori, thank you. You're so good to me. Thank you so much. Kay Donna, I'm excited to see you, girl. I have missed you. I've really missed you. So I am super glad that you're coming to a workshop soon. I can't wait. And Kay Donna, I think you are also one of the ones that was interested in my little fabric puppies that I make, the little dogs. I'm going to try to get that workshop scheduled for September also. So I think, if my memory serves me correctly, you were one of the gals that were interested in that. So I'll be getting that scheduled in the next couple of nights too, and I'm excited about teaching you guys that. So for you gals that live around the Oklahoma City area, I do teach DIY classes. Currently, I'm teaching them here in my home. Have a great group of gals that always come. We always have so much fun. So if you are interested in seeing what workshops I currently have scheduled, you can find those by going to the events tab on my page, and it will give you the information that you need about upcoming workshops. And you want to check that often because I schedule them probably about every 3 weeks. I go in and schedule new classes kind of in a batch. So you'll want to go check that out as well. I think I remember where I was going a while ago when I forgot what I was going to tell you guys. It just came to me when I laid these down. What I was going to tell you is, if you have chosen 3 different patterns for your scrapbook paper, and it's hard to tell when they're in big sheets if they're going to look good once you get them cut out and put on your letters. So here's what I always like to do. Before I actually get my Mod Podge and start applying the paper to my letters, kind of do a dry run, literally, if you will, and just lay your paper on top of your letters and look at it. Then you can go, oh, this one on the end I don't really like. So throw him aside and pick a different scrapbook paper and try again, and just do the dry run until you're happy with the way your project looks. I'm going to do that right now as well. I'm going to look at each one of my letters and see where I might need to trim. And I can tell that this inside of my B right down here, I need to trim a little bit there. So let me get that off, and then I'm going to try again. And you're really just going for what looks nice. Guys, I'm telling you to go inside of the line a little bit, and on my B at least, I didn't get inside my pencil line enough. So honestly, on this step, when it comes to cutting out, it's better if you have it just a hair smaller. I mean, it's better to go too small than to leave excess hanging off, because it doesn't look good when you try to do your finished product if you've got a lot of that scrapbook paper hanging over the edge. So let's look again. Okay, I think I can live with that. So I'm just doing a dry run. That one looks fine, to make sure that I like everything. This guy's a little fat. I got one side of this O that's still a little bit too wide. So I'm going to trim just a little bit off of him. Okay. And if you guys are wondering why I'm picking up these scraps and moving them, is because when I get ready to do my Mod Podge, I don't want it stuck all in my Mod Podge. So I just get that stuff out of the way so that I don't make a mess with it. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you guys, I'm actually working on a painter's drop cloth today. And if I were to just go ahead and start putting my Mod Podge on here, it's going to make a sticky tacky mess on my painter's drop cloth. So what I like to do when I'm working with Mod Podge is I just get a piece of wax paper, and sometimes if I'm going to be doing a lot with my Mod Podge, I'll tape it down, but I'm feeling kind of frisky today, so I didn't tape it down. We're just going to go with it. So let's see here. So I'll just show you guys, I'm just using regular Mod Podge. You can pick this up at Hobby Lobby or Walmart, Michael's, any of those type places. And I'm using a sponge brush, like a 1-inch. And here's the key that I wanted to remember to tell you guys. So when you're working with Mod Podge, the key to being happy and not wanting to pull your hair out and being satisfied, most important, is being satisfied with your end product, is to make sure you get a lot of Mod Podge on. If you don't put enough, it's going to bubble and crease, and as it dries, and you're going to want to throw your project in the trash. So make sure you get enough on, okay? So I'm happy with the amount I've got. And here's the other thing. Mod Podge is not super forgiving, so you kind of need to know where you're going with it before you put it down. And once it's been down for several seconds, it's really hard to pick it up and reposition. So take your time on this step. Don't let that intimidate you or scare you. Just take your time and kind of look to see, I was making sure that I was just directly over my B before I ever put that down. So now we're done with the B. Let's move on to our O. You guys are going to be surprised how super easy this entire project is. And I think that the finished product is super cute for no more than we have in it. And guys, I should have looked. The letters that spell boo that I picked up at Walmart, I'm trying to think. I want to say maybe they were only 97 cents a piece. Oh, don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. So anyway, even if they're not, they're $1 something, they're cheap. So this is going to make a super cute little sign. And the thing I like about the projects that I come on and share with you guys is you can do your own thing. It basically ends up being a custom sign so that you don't have the exact same Halloween or fall signs that everybody else has. So you can make these in your favorite colors for the holiday, or to match your home decor, home style. I'm going to use my sweet niece Rachel as an example. Rachel does the super clean whites, grays, and then just stained wood look in her home. I wouldn't call it, classic Scandinavian, but definitely has that hint. And so if she doesn't want a lot of color for her Halloween or fall decor, this would be a super cute project for her because she could pick, you know, maybe just the grays or gray and white scrapbook paper to make her sign with. And now she's got a cute little holiday sign, but it's not purple like her aunt picked today. So just keep that in mind. So, you know, I know a lot of you gals that do that farmhouse look, that's the grays and whites. You don't want a lot of color in your house. You don't have to have a lot of color. You can pick your scrapbook papers, you know, in neutral tones and use those and still be super cute. And I think even the guy that's going to finish our sign off, I think even you farmhouse gals will really like what I picked. So, and just use it with your neutral colored. Oh, what am I doing? Too busy talking with you guys. I am done with that, but I almost forgot the most important step when it comes to Mod Podge. Get too busy talking, guys. You want to put one more coat over the top to just seal it, okay? So, and I like to do the edges too, because to me, if I just get a little bit on the edges, then I think that that just truly seals the edge of our scrapbook paper to our letters. So let me get that put on real fast, and then we'll move to our next step while this is drying. And you will want to let your Mod Podge dry. So after you put the top coat on to act as your sealer, and again, I'm just doing the edges of my own. Once you put that top coat on, usually about 10 or 15 minutes, it's pretty dry. So you can work with it after that. Now, if ours isn't dry by the time I need to put it on the sign, I've got my hair dryer over here, and I'll just plug it in and we'll dry it a little bit if need be. But really, especially on a day like today, it, you know, on a warmer day, it dries pretty fast. So let me, all right, we got that on. And here's the other thing, when you're putting on your Mod Podge, go back and kind of glance over whatever you're applying your Mod Podge. In my example here, my letters, I just want to look back over when I lay it down and make sure if there is a clump of Mod Podge, I go ahead and smooth that out, because that can sometimes dry kind of milky, and then, you know, in your mind, that would probably ruin your project. So just make sure that after you lay it down to dry, glance back over it and just go ahead and smooth out any places that might have the Mod Podge on a little bit thicker, okay? So let me see, there's a couple of little spots on my B that I just noticed I didn't get. So you just want to wipe back over that, okay? And I even had a whole bunch here at the bottom of my 1O, so I'm going to take that off too. Okay, now we can move this out of the way and get started on our next piece, okay? All right, I know that I'm going to want to add one of my cute little super easy bows to the top of our sign up here where it's going to hang. So I picked out some ribbon that I thought would look super good with the scrapbook paper that I used. So let me get a cute little ribbon going here for us. And because this sign is kind of small, I'm not going to make my bow the traditional way, where I usually use like 2 pieces of each one of the ribbon choices and crisscross those and stack them like I showed you guys the other day. I think that would be too overpowering because our sign's not very big. So I'm going to just stick with, let me see about how long. And guys, this is literally how I figure out what size bow. I just lay it down and go, okay, what do I think would look cute on here? That's what I do. So it's not a lot of scientific measuring that goes on. I just eyeball it, and you guys can do the same thing. So, but I'm just going to use the one today, so that especially of the big one, so it's not overpowering for our little sign. We want it to complement our sign, not overpower it. So, let me see, this guy, I think, you know, I really wish I had done something different on that one. Let me get us a new piece of ribbon here. I am going to cut it a little bit longer because I forgot. I actually think on this one, I want to do more of what looks, I call them cat ears. I don't know what the real term in the crafting world is, but I think they look like cat ears. So I'm going to make cat ears on the end of my ribbon, okay? And so it turns out like this. Let me turn around where you guys can see. And the simple way to do that is I just took both of my ends and laid them together, and then you fold, and then when you get ready to do your cut, let me turn this, you cut from the center out to the edge, okay? Guys, guess who forgot to plug their phone in? Hold on just a second. My phone is trying to die. Okay, guys, let me get okay. Sorry about that, but after all, it's live, and I'm not perfect, and I forgot to plug my phone in. Anyway, okay, so that's how you do if you want the little cat ears on the ends of your ribbon. That's super easy to do, okay? And then this smaller ribbon is not very wide. It's probably like 1/2 inch. So on it, I'm just gonna do an angled cut on it, okay? Because it's not really wide enough to do the little cat ears and have those look very good. So I'm just doing an angled cut on those, okay? And let's see here. I thought this black rickrack would be super cute. So let's get a piece of that, and I think it would look better. Guys, I try when I'm doing things like these bows to keep, you know, if I'm working with patterns and solid colors, I do like a pattern, a solid color, a pattern, and you don't have to always go back and forth with it, but what I don't want to have happen is all of my patterns together and all of my solids together, if that makes sense. So it just aesthetically looks a little better if you do it this way. And then I found just a scrap piece. I keep everything, guys. I'm a hoarder. I found this little scrap piece of rickrack that was left over from one of my DIY workshops the other night, and I thought, that's perfect. I think I'm going to throw a piece of that on too. As a matter of fact, since it's just white, and we'll kind of brighten up our sign some. Is that too short? Yeah, that'd be too short. I thought about just cutting it in half, but we're not going to do that because I think it would look a little too short if we did that. So let's just cut that and throw that on, and still do kind of your crisscross pattern, okay? So I'm still going to do the little crisscross. Actually, I think we'll do it. Let's see, I need to get this out of the way for a second now that we know how long we want it. So we know we want this piece next, and then we want this piece, and then this. I'd also thought about throwing in, and we may do that, I thought about throwing in some raffia. So let's just look real quick and see if we like that on top. And guys, this is literally what I do when I'm making anything. It's just trial and error, and you guys can do the same thing. So I'm just gonna cut off some of the raffia, and we're gonna throw it on and see if we like it. And you guys can see I am literally, no rhyme or reason, I'm just kind of wadding this up, and that's a real technical term right there. And I'm gonna stick it on and see. You know what? I think I do kind of like it, because I think it adds that little bit of kind of the hint of fall, because it kind of reminds you of straw. So I think I'm gonna have that on. All right, and then I'm gonna use just some plain old little jute rope to tie it off with. So now I'm just gonna pick it up, and you guys know, you've seen me do it before. If it's wider than this or bigger than this, I turn it over. But because we didn't use near as many ribbons this time, I'm just gonna hold it in my hand, flip it over, kind of make sure I'm in the center, and then, and if it is easier for you guys to put it down, face down on the table, it probably is. Let me just do that too. It's probably gonna help me too. Put that down on the table. Oh, I like it. And it's not too big, and it's not gonna overpower our sign, okay? And then just tie that off nice and tight, okay? And then when you turn it back over, you may have to straighten up some of your ribbons, because they get kind of folded over when you're doing that process right there. So just straighten those guys back up, and then, you know, mess with the raffia if you add it until you get it like you like it. Okay, I think we're good with that. Guys, literally, we are almost done. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I got to put on the corner of our sign. A cute little bat. I think he is so cute, and I'm not much of a Halloween person, so for me to even decide to do more of a Halloween theme is kind of out of character for me, but I thought these were super cute. And I'm going to tell you guys where I got them, and I'm going to show you the packaging, so if you want to go get some, you know what you're looking for. They're at Dollar General store, not Dollar Tree, Dollar General, yellow sign, black letters, Dollar General. $2 for this garland, super duper cute. So I just cut off the last little bat, and that's what's going to be up in the corner of our sign. The other thing that I found there that I thought was really cute and I picked up, and I threw the packaging away already, but anyway, it's this spider web looking, scary looking gauze stuff. It was $1. So I thought that we would take some of this to kind of give the spooky effect on our sign, to add some of this on the sign up in the corner before we put our bat. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and I'm just cutting some off, guys. Once again, no rhyme or reason, no serious measuring. I literally want it just kind of draped over. I'm going to turn this around where you guys can see. Just kind of draped over the corner of my sign, and you can just play with it until you kind of like how it looks. I'm just kind of hanging down on the edge. And then on this back side, I'm going to use my glue gun and just put hot glue, okay, to get that to stay there. Okay, and we're going to give that just a second to dry before we turn it back over. Okay, I better put a little more up here too. All right, so stick that guy down with your hot glue. Okay, and guys, on the little bats, you could truly use that as a garland, maybe across your fireplace mantle or hanging off of a shelf somewhere in your home. I think it would be real cute if you've got little kids. You could drape it across their headboard for, you know, September and October. They would probably think that's fun. The other thing you can do is I do a fall tree at my house. So basically it looks like a Christmas tree, but everything on it is fall themed. So you could cut these apart and make new little hangers for them and use them as ornaments on a fall tree. That would be super cute too. So I'm going to try to find some other ways to use my package of them with you guys, so we'll see what else I can come up with. But those are just some ideas I could come up with off the top of my head. Okay, all right, so now we've got it where we've just got our gauzy, spidery web looking stuff hanging. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and put my bat on next, so that kind of helps me know where I'm going to put my boo, okay? So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of my bat, and I know I want him up here at the corner, so we're just going to stick him in the corner, okay? And then, see, our letter's already dry enough for me to go ahead and put those on. The Mod Podge doesn't take long to dry, so that's a good thing. Okay, and of course I'm kind of sticking to my, should have left my wax paper down because I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. My glue's not really dry on the back side yet, but that's okay. We're going to wing it. All right, and guys, when it comes to putting things like letters on a sign, I know that intimidates a lot of you too. Don't let it, because number one, you don't even have to put these on perfect. You don't have to have them all lined up. I think it's cute if they're on all different ways, so that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to put my B on leaning one way and the two O's leaning a different way, and that's just what we're going to do, and then you don't have to stress about it. So we're going to put hot glue on the back, of our B, and then we're going to stick it on. Okay. All right, get our B on where we want it, or kind of where it fell in my instance, but anyway, get that guy on. All is good. And then kind of look at your boo to see where you want it. Okay, and then more hot glue. Okay, and like I said, I'm purposely putting these on at an angle, and I promise you, if you'll do this, it'll make you feel a lot better about your project, because then you won't be stressing over making sure that they're all perfectly lined up. So this will help you guys feel better, I feel like, if you just give yourself permission to put your letters on purposely at an angle. Guys, we're almost finished, so I don't know how long we've been going, but this is a fast project. Doesn't take long at all. Okay, and if you guys noticed, I kept my string longer when I made my bow a while ago because I know I want to put it in the center of our rope up here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the pieces that I left longer to kind of tie it on, okay? And then I'll also, we could put a little bit of hot glue up there later to help secure it if we want to. But yeah, our sign is, whoops, let me give this Rafi a haircut here. That stuff. Okay, so voila, we're done. How cute is that? Super cute sign, doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, but looks totally different than what everybody else has. So now you can make one, like I said, custom for anywhere in your home to use. So this would be another good project to do with kids. If you've got younger kids, they could totally do this and make one to put in their bedroom or to hang on their bedroom door or whatever. So there's that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this simple little craft idea for today. And I'm going to go back through two things. I'm going to go back through and answer your comments and questions if I missed those. I'll get those answered after a while. And I'm going to pick someone who's commenting, and it doesn't have to be somebody that watched it live. If you're catching it on a replay, I'm going to go pick somebody and send you a little something. So make sure you comment so that I know you watched it. And if you're catching this on the replay, and if it's blurry, I apologize to you guys. My live video from last Thursday is terribly blurry. And I called my internet service provider on Thursday. They sent someone out on Friday, and the guy made a change. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or help at all. So you guys, if you're watching on the replay, let me know what the quality looks like. And if it's still blurry, bear with me and know that I am trying to get that fixed. So if you guys would do me a huge favor, if you will tell your family and friends about my page, I would greatly appreciate that. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that this has inspired you to get creative, and I'll be back with you guys a little bit later in the week with yet another simple little fall project for you. So let me see. I'm going to look at a couple of your comments real fast. Shauna, oh yeah, oh Shauna, that's awesome. That makes me happy. If you make some signs, be sure and post them. I know you will. You're good about that. So post them to let me know. So that's just awesome. Connie, thank you so much, dear. I appreciate that. You guys are so good to me, and I appreciate that so very much. So if you guys will do me a favor, Deanna, thank you, dear. If you guys end up making a little sign like this, would you come back on this post and post a picture down in the comments so that I can see them? That'd be awesome. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back in a few days with another craft idea for you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.